I do, I think. Yeah? Is it this one?
It's the one on the right now.
Cool, well I want to talk about FIFA and why I think that the governing body of football, the greatest sport in the world, is a disgrace. Okay, I'm sick to death of it, so that's what I'm going to tackle. So, FIFA stands for Fédération Internationale de Football Association, which is, in other terms, Federation, the International Federation of Football Association. And it was founded in 1904, so it's a very old institution, and it works as football's main governing body. And the president is the Brazilian César Blatter, and he and the rest of his corrupt colleagues are responsible for sort of organising everything that goes on in world football. But there's a lot of things wrong with them. FIFA are incredibly slow and inefficient, in my view. They're very slow to develop new technology. So, for example, if anyone in here watched the 2010 World Cup, you know that we were utterly cheated by the fact that they still hadn't installed video technology, and Frank Lampard's goal could have cost us a place in the quarter-finals. They also placed unnecessary restrictions on the game. So FIFA consider themselves responsible for any kind of football that goes on throughout the world, and therefore any kind of competitive match you have has to be sanctioned by FIFA and then sanctioned by the FA if you're playing in the UK. So I think they're also control freaks, and I think that's a real problem. They're also incredibly slow to commission reports and happenings within the organisation. So that's why I think that's a problem. Now, congratulations, Qatar. Now I don't know how many of you are really into football, but the World Cup, whether you like it or not, is one of the world's greatest sporting events, and I think that the fact that Qatar won the 2022 World Cup, it's an absolute disgrace, because just a show of hands actually, who here genuinely believes that Qatar, country in, I think it's the United Arab Emirates, anyway, but temperatures of 50 degrees, whatever, it's got no footballing heritage, who believes they won that vote fairly? Be honest, no one? There we are. I mean, I think everyone knows that the Qatari World Cup was not, is absolutely covered in corruption, and that's for a range of reasons. One, there's endless links to bribes by Qatari officials. So, basically, my view on this is that, FIFA officials were bribed by this man, Mohammed bin Hammam, and he's been making, I think it's a £3 million payment. That's the allegation, and along with loads of sort of off payments to actually win the World Cup, and it's ludicrous. If played in summer, the temperatures could be up to 50 degrees. Imagine playing football in 50 degrees. It's outrageous. They also talk of moving the World Cup to winter, which I don't think is a very good idea. The World Cup's traditionally the summer, it's when the domestic season is finished. Also, another sort of social problem, economic problem, is that the tournament will be based massively on slave labour. All the infrastructure in Qatar will undoubtedly be used by immigrants taken over from other countries where they cannot get work. So I think that, they will be shamelessly exploited, I'm sure of that. So I think that the Qatari World Cup is an absolute disgrace, and I really hope it doesn't go ahead there. So, but generally FIFA is laden with corruption and greed. The top officials in the organisation are paying themselves about £3 to £5 million a year, which is money which should obviously be going into the sport and the game worldwide to promote football, to promote all the good things that can come from it. And so, that's just one of many issues. There was a report by an American called Michael Garcia, which was subsequently blocked by FIFA, and that was investigating all the corruption claims and all the things that they had done, and it was blocked. So I think there can be no doubt as to what the contents of the report probably There's also questions over the Russia, the choice of Russia to host the 2018 games or Cup. No one's, people still really aren't sure whether Russia won it fairly. And there's been a range of allegations, and there's even been arrests over the democratic process of past presidential elections for the presidency of FIFA. So all in all, I think this is an organisation which is morally bankrupt. But is there light at the end of the tunnel? Well, FIFA's commonly acknowledged to be in a time of crisis. A lot of people are waking up to this now. They've been criticised by many top figures, including Gary Lineker, Zinedine Zidane, Ronaldo. So, they've been people really starting to wake up to this. And as I said, there are presidential elections in May 2015, and Portugal legend Luís Figo will be running. And I hope he wins, because as an ex-footballer, I'm hoping that he'll bring a bit of honesty and real knowledge of having played the game into the sort of FIFA establishment. So we can only hope this is the beginning of the new era. And as I said, I appreciate not everyone in here might not be a football lover, but this is one of the world's biggest organisations, biggest, most influential institutions, and they're completely corrupt. And I think it's wrong, and I hope that we as people will stand up for them, especially football lovers. Thank you.